Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset episode 120. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you love playing Destiny 2 as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we welcome our friend KackisHD to the show as we talk D2 on PC, rally up for the return of faction rallies, and get super hyped for the Curse of Osiris DLC. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's AER0KNIGHT, and here with me is CyborgSasquatch. How you doing, man?
Hello, sir.
How's it going?
It's been a quiet week on the host front. How's things going for you?
Going pretty good, dude.
Busy week.
Yeah, the time change, dude. Like
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm dragging a little bit this weekend after at least the last day.
I understand.
You think it wouldn't affect you much, but it's like, man, it does.
Well, it freaked me out when it started getting dark at 5:30 today.
Yeah.
Like, what
Wait a
what
second.
time is it? Hold on.
Hold on. But yeah, everything else is good, man. How about you?
Another week. So with us this week, we've got a special guest. We would like to welcome KackisHD. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing quite well.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Can we just call you Kackis for short, or should we say HD every time?
You know what? I'm going to allow the no HD, but you know what? You rubbed me the wrong way halfway through. I'm going to make you put it back on.
All right.
Just so that everyone
We'll try to
knows
keep it cool.
it's HD.
Today, Kackis in standard definition.
Ooh, that's my cousin. That's my evil twin. He's got a channel on Vimeo.
You sure it's not Daily Motion?
Newgrounds.
There you go. Well, man, if you don't know Kackis HD, he is a content creator, primarily focusing on YouTube. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, as you said, got my YouTube channel at KackisHD, and I mainly do everything there. Guides. I just like making content, making guides on... I got my raid guides. Raid guides for dummies is probably what I'm best known for. Weapon guides. I like doing a bunch of different things throughout the game. Essentially, what I'm doing in the game, if I'm playing PvP, if I'm playing PvE, if I'm doing the raids, if I'm doing whatever, I'd like to do a bunch of different things, and I like to make content that kind of represents that. And I also stream every once in a while on Twitch, even though there's no discernible schedule, and I disappear for weeks at a time. I'm really horrible at that, so I need to definitely get better at that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm Canadian, so that's kind of something about me that come from the Herald from the Arctic North right now, and it's absolutely freezing outside my house. So the stereotypes are true when it comes to the weather. That's for sure.
Well, good for you. You've got an indoor job. You're a smart Canadian.
Yeah. I was going to record outside doing something a little different, but no.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What's the temp there right now?
Right now, quite literally, it's probably minus 15 degrees Celsius, so 15 degrees below freezing.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll pass. So I'm on the opposite end of the Americas here, and enjoying my 80-degree weather that I had today.
Like what is even with you? Like, I can't even imagine that. If I go outside with short sleeve shirts, I will get a frostburn. I will get legitimate frostburn. Whereas you can sit there with a pina colada and enjoy life.
Oh yeah, we went inside at lunch today because it was too hot.
Oh my
No way,
gosh!
dude.
What the heck?
Dude, we're at that time of year now where we step outside. We don't know what the temperature is going to be. I'm in between you guys. So like today I'm like, whoa, it's warmer than I thought it was going to be. And then 2 days from now, it'll be pretty chilly outside. It's like cold.
Oh yeah,
season,
yeah.
man.
The weather's about to change again. We got a cold front coming in. But
Oh,
our
no.
version of a cold front is
you might have to put on a sweater.
50 Fahrenheit, you know?
Long sleeve shirt for Cyborg.
Yep. Might have to go get the mothballs and dust off the sweaters. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Kackis, way back. Let's go way back. What got you into gaming, dude? In general.
Well, man, I'm trying to think of my first. I think my first experience gaming was I didn't really have any of the original N64 type of stuff. My parents decided that video games are bad for you and that nothing would come from me playing video games. I was told this as a child. So I like kind of rubbing it in their faces that they're wrong a little bit. But but yeah, I would go over to a friend's house and I would play like GoldenEye, and I remember playing Pokemon Snap. That was so lit, like just going to my friend's house and just snapping Pokemon. Remember that game where you go around to little tracks, you capture pictures of Pokemon, you get more points? Yeah. That was so fun. And eventually I got like a GameCube, was finally my own, my first system. And but it wasn't allowed in my house. I had to keep it at my grandparents. So I'd go to my grandparents to play, play GameCube.
Man, they weren't.
And we've evolved all the way to go full-time YouTube gaming like non-stop. So things have changed quite a bit.
I would say so, yeah. What was your games of choice on the GameCube?
Do you remember Lord of the Rings Return of the King for the GameCube?
I don't think I ever played that.
Yeah. I kind of remember it.
So good. It was unbelievable. But I also had Call of Duty Finest Hour, which was a blast, and Glitch in the System, and of course the I can't even remember what it's called. Metroid Prime.
Oh, Prime, right?
That was a sweet game too.
Sounds like you put in some time on the old GameCube.
Man, I unlocked like every Lord of the Rings character, every special move. Dude, it was lit. I single-handedly saved Middle-earth dozens of times.
I bet. It sounds like it. Over and over. Yeah, it's funny you bring up Metroid because I was talking with my brother-in-law just last night, and we were like, man, I can't wait till they come out with a new Metroid on the Switch because that would be so much fun. And I hear that they're working on one, so...
There's a bunch of like interesting games. Like I think the first full like Pokemon game that comes out for this like meant for the Switch is going to be amazing. Because I think they have like a battle game right now, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what? So you go from having to go to grandma's to play GameCube to full on.
Yeah.
For a career playing games and making content. How did you get into YouTube and making videos and all that?
Man, I finally got an Xbox 360, the littest console to ever exist. Like, I just had so much fun on that thing, and I got an Xbox 360, and this was like way back in the day, and I remember just watching videos of other this was like for Call of Duty. Like I got an Xbox and I got Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, Call of Duty 4.
Oh, and yeah.
Watch the old school, C-Nanners and those guys, and I had just a bunch of myself and my friends were just talking like, oh, we could do that, right? We could make our own channels. And back in the day though, I was good at Call of Duty. I don't know where my like twitchy little thumbs, what happened to them. I'm still decent, but I was nowhere near like the scores I was putting up back in the day. But so I just eventually got a Hauppauge and started uploading these absolutely dreadful Call of Duty videos where just 99% of the words are and I don't know what I'm doing. And
can we still go back and find those?
Oh, they're hidden on a second channel that was like way back in the day. So and eventually just kind of stuck with it and ended up here. Just got better and better. That's the thing I think is just if you do something more and more, and I just got used to it. I got used to talking, used to having complete sentences without the word sprint, like just completely splattered in there, and you just get better and better, and eventually, I'm able to do what I'm doing right now.
You should do what I've seen some content creators do here lately and pull one of those old videos and do some commentary over the top of it.
Oh my goodness. I'd have to find like, it couldn't be the first few. It'd have to be like the 15th or 10th. The first few are too embarrassing. I couldn't even. Bit. Oh man. All that like 720p. I think somewhere in like 480 because I had no idea what I was doing. Now 480p glory.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes is right.
I mean, what's brought us all together, man, with all this said, I mean, what brought you to Destiny?
Well, that was actually a pretty simple transition for me. Like, I was pretty hardcore into Borderlands 2. Like, before I did Destiny on this channel, like, and I still have a ton of Borderlands 2 videos, I would do Borderlands 2 pretty hardcore. And so, you know, just kind of keeping attention to the gaming news. It was Bungie. It's Bungie, the people who made Halo, are making a loot-based game. And at that time, again, I'm heck so into Borderlands, which is another loot-based game, that I was just fully on board for that. And then I just took that dive into Destiny for sure.
Yeah, it's funny that so many people bring up Borderlands 2 and coming from there, because I remember my buddies that I played Borderlands 2 with, like, one of the main reasons we were excited about Destiny was because it promised some elements of Borderlands, you know, just the looter shooter concept, where we loved it so much in Borderlands. We were like, man, as like a full out, you know, social multiplayer game, yeah, sign us up, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That loot aspect, I really do love that loot aspect, as like, you know, any of those games, even Diablo 3 I got into for quite a while. Path of Exile, I think it's Path of Exile, not Path to Exile. It's a free game, absolutely fantastic. I would recommend to anyone. I've never uploaded a Path to Exile video ever on my channel, but I play it in the background, and it's very, very fun and amazing for a free game. But again, that drive to get the better loot and to get your character all decked out in the best stuff, and it's definitely those type of games I really do enjoy.
Yeah, Borderlands and like Diablo, those games know how to throw all kinds of loot at you. I remember beating the boss with my friends, one of the first bosses on Borderlands 2, and all that, like, spaceship boss, and all the loot just flies out of the sky.
Bunker.
Dude, yeah, man, those are some good ones.
Getting those 94% shams? Nah, don't know what I'm talking about. All right.
Dude.
No, I get you. That was a great feeling. You know, you'd have the literal loot explosions. Like Borderlands was really ahead of its time when it came to all that stuff, opening chests and the loot shining in front of you. And yeah, you kill enemies or open chests and loot was flying out. The loot explosions in Borderlands, you'll see it in Destiny 2 when you open the chest now at strikes. The loot actually pops out and flies out at you. This literal same thing that Borderlands was doing.
Yeah, I was excited when they finally made the change where bosses would actually drop an engram, you know, because even that gave you a little bit of the same feeling. But yeah, those chests now, those strike chests and stuff, they just...
I love how they just erupt stuff. Just stuff goes everywhere, and the glimmer's like visible, so you got to pick up the glimmer. And
you got 9999 glimmers, so you can't collect any. It looks cool, but you can't collect it. Well, at least in my case.
Well, I got to make sure I don't cap out, or it bothers me when I can't pick up the glimmer.
Just go and buy some...
Apply a shader.
Some mods for, like, no reason.
Yeah. Just got to spend it, man. Well, in Destiny 2, now that we've moved on from Destiny 1, what is your favorite class?
You're asking my favorite class. What, are you trying to get me to lose subscribers here? Like, oh my goodness, favorite class. All right.
Okay, I can rephrase. What class are you having the most fun with right now?
Don't rephrase it. The best class is the only class you should play. The only class for sane people, Titan. All right?
Ooh,
listen,
that was coming.
Yes. You got 2 pulse grenades. We all know those things are overpowered as heck, but keep it on the DL, okay? So you got 2 pulse grenades. All right, that's enough DPS to take down Callus basically by yourself. Just chuck them both. Go make some ramen noodles in the background. You come back, he's dead. Easy. All right. You had in Destiny 1. You had the Titan skating. That's not there anymore because Titan was too good. Still amazing. You've got a roaming super that was already amazing in Destiny 1 that you can slam a bunch of times. And you look like a beast. All right, you're not fighting straw weight like you are with the Hunter. Okay.
Dude, we've had so many warlocks on. We've had several hunters. It's nice to finally.
And you know what? To be honest, though,
Titan on.
I love Titan, and I am a Titan Master Race. But like, but I say that mostly a lot for the memes. But if we're gonna be dead honest here, all 3 classes, like, I'm always impressed by how Bungie balances them. Like they, you know. I make fun of hunters all the time, but when you have hunters in your team on Callus and they're shooting his head and they're producing orbs and then they're chaining off each other, you're kind of like, wow, this is really powerful. Or Orpheus Riggs, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, Such a great.
Well, and I don't need to say
set
anything
of
about
features.
warlocks. They know they're good. Like, I don't need to say anything more. Come on.
Those warlocks, they know it.
They
They know.
do a
They
good job
know.
making sure that warlocks are served well. in
I'm
the
just
game.
gonna put a healing rift and save everyone on the team. Thanks.
Yep.
We appreciate
Yep. Well, what about your favorite weapon? Do you have a favorite weapon in Destiny 2 yet?
Man,
I know that's always a tough one.
yeah, it's, you know what is? The Warcliffe Coil is so fun. You go in and doing
Oh, it
public
is.
events with the Warcliffe Coil, especially if you get specifically Glimmer Extraction, and you can, because there's so
Oh, yeah.
many yellow health fallen there, that one shot from the Warcliffe just takes like 5 guys out. You just get unlimited heavy ammo. You're shooting Warcliffe left, right, and center. You're killing yourself 50% of the time, but who cares? You're killing everyone else too. It's just so much fun.
I love launching the majors with it.
Yeah, you see him fly up. Have you ever
It's
shot
so fun.
on Artifact's Edge, and you can shoot that guy off. He falls down the edge, and like everyone just kind of
Yeah.
stares at him because it takes a while for him to trigger his death mechanics. Everyone's staring and
And
like,
he just
did we
dies.
glitch him or did we get him? He finally dies.
Yeah, I've done that. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we've got our classic question, man. I know it's pretty common in the entire Destiny community, but it's been around for a while for the Derp fam. We always have to ask our guests, do you like pineapple on your pizza, or is that a big no?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know when it became a meme to like hate on pineapple pizza, but I love pineapple pizza. I love Hawaiian pizza. Like if I go and get pizza, I'll get almost always. Well, in Canada, it's called Hawaiian pizza. I'll almost always get pineapple pizza. I absolutely love it, and I dip it in ranch sauce. And I know it's such a meme right now, and I know people hate on it. I watched a video recently of Gordon Ramsay trying pineapple pizza. He like spat it out. He's like, I can't. He took like one bite. He's spitting it out. He's like gagging, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, I love this stuff. What's wrong with you, my man Gordon over here?
Well, at least our listeners know now that we're not asking this question before we have guests on, because we went
Let
on
me
a
guess.
streak
Every
here.
single other person hates pineapple pizza.
You're the first person I think that
I
has
knew it.
admitted that they like
Listen,
it.
I can't be. They have it on the menu. I can't be the only one who likes it. I can't be
You're not.
single-handedly
Look, it's-
funding pineapple pizza.
There's a big pineapple pizza team in the Derp fam. If you just go, you're in our Discord. If you just go to general chat right now and just put like where my pineapple pizza lovers at, you're gonna make like 30
It'll
best
rally.
friends.
It'll rally quite a few.
I love it. I can't lie, but it's definitely become a meme to hate on it now. And I don't know what
Right.
happened. And I think people, I think a lot of people don't give it a chance. They haven't even tried it. They just already don't liking it.
I really appreciate your candor. It was great to have you on this week. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show.
Yeah. I'm gonna go
we'll
have to
we won't
re-celebrate
tell
my
him.
like 250,000 subscriber special. Half my
night.
subscribers
We
gone
need to have
after
a
that
talk
mission
about-
right
Yeah,
there.
we'll finish the
Screening
show
our
after.
guests.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after
exactly.
we get him out of here.
No, we had some. We tried some again. It was not the first time, but we had some again at Guardian Con and confirmed that it was not palatable for us.
Listen, pineapple pizza by itself is not something I usually ingest. I dip it in the ranch sauce. I have pineapple pizza. You
A lot of
get the
people eat
ranch
their
dip
pizza
going.
with ranch, yeah.
I really
Yeah, I
enjoy
have
that.
friends that do
And
that.
that flavor combination kicks it to 11. If I had to eat like a plain pizza, I probably wouldn't get pineapple pizza. It's the ranch is that thing that does it for me. The best, like the if I go to like a really nice pizza place or whatever, I'm not getting pineapple pizza. I'm getting pineapple pizza if I got like friends over and at a house party or something like that.
Like
right?
cheap delivery pizza.
Exactly, and then I'll get the pineapple and the ranch. It's not. I don't want to be. I don't want your listeners coming off this thinking I'm a major pineapple pizza eater. Like I'm eating nothing but pineapple pizza. Come on,
Hey,
I got
don't
more sense
backpedal
than
now,
that.
man. Don't backpedal. Look, just hang in there. Be strong about your commitment to this idea. All
I'm
right.
sure ranch is good with pizza. I have friends
I
that
feel
will
like
not
this is a pro
eat.
tip, though.
They will
I
not
love
eat
dipping the
pizza
pizza, man.
without
I
ranch.
love it.
I eat a lot of things with ranch, but it's still not really. I don't do it with pizza. I don't know. I like my garlic butter with my pizza, man.
Oh yeah, garlic butter.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Okay, well, I mean that sounds good too.
Well, I think that'll wrap up the pizza talk for the week before we run some listeners off.
I'm not done. Listen, pineapple. I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Do we have any announcements this week, AER0KNIGHT, so we can get this show going?
Yes, we do. Real quick, guys. We moved that Dirt Fam Reunion Sedalia meetup from a month or two ago to, well, it's already almost here. November 17th, 18th, and 19th. We're having a Dirt Fam meetup. If you have any questions, in our Discord, message Scoreo70, SCOREO70. With any questions you have, if you guys would like to come, we're hoping for a pretty big turnout. One of the reasons why we pushed it back a month or two. But anyways, that's coming soon. Might remind you one more time, but it's just a couple weekends away. So if you can make it, if you can only make it one day, make it the Saturday, the 18th. But we're hoping quite a few of you can join us.
Seems like there's going to be a good turnout. I know there's some people flying out and stuff.
Yes. Yep. Can't wait, dude. Can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
Y'all are going to have a great time.
Turns into, last year it turned into just a big Destiny LAN party. So we're hoping the same.
I'm sure it
for
will.
this year.
Sure it will. Especially because you can bring consoles or PCs.
Yes. Yep. Very
well,
cool.
we got some news this week. We got a few different things we could talk about. We're going to save the biggest news for the main part of the show, that being information released finally about the Curse of Osiris DLC. But first off, let's kick it off with this week at Bungie. Of course, this week at Bungie, they announced Curse of Osiris, and there was an awesome reveal trailer that we'll get into. But first off, they went ahead and dated and put a title on some streams that we're going to have prior to this releasing. So first, we're going to have the Curse of Osiris Stream 1. That's going to talk about new stories to tell. 11 a.m. Pacific, Wednesday, November 15th. We'll learn about the places you'll go, the characters you'll meet, and the enemies you'll fight. That one should be juicy and interesting. Next up, Stream 2, New Ways to Play. 11 a.m. Pacific, Tuesday, November 21st. They're going to preview some of the new activities that will challenge you and your fire team. I'm definitely curious about what we're going to see there. And then finally, Stream 3, New Gear to Earn. Wednesday, November 29th, 11 a.m. Pacific. Inspect the new inventories and see it all in action on a brand new Crucible map. So they'll have a Bungie development team along with the stream, I'm sure with Mr. Degis himself walking us through as we've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
those should be fun.
I'm surprised
sure
we're back to the 3 stream thing. I know that's their usual, but it was, of course we didn't get that with Destiny 2, but
Yeah.
it's the classic 3. I hope, it's always like, I hope they have, it doesn't end up being like a 30-minute stream and everybody's like, what? Like, where's all the stuff?
They've been able to do like a solid hour almost
each
every
time. Yeah,
every
I'm
time
pumped,
so far.
dude.
So
I can't wait.
yeah, as usual, we will probably host these on the Destiny Reset Twitch channel. If you want to come hang out with the Dirt Fam and chat while we watch these, we're typically there. We'll try to make sure that we are hosting it. If you don't want to go into the wasteland that is Bungie's public Twitch chat while that's going on.
It's not much of
Can't
a
even
wasteland,
track it.
and more of the scene from Walking Dead when all the zombies are coming in the first season. And just so many
That's more
clamoring
accurate.
zombies.
Yeah. Then next up, we've got faction rallies returning next week, guys. Are you excited about faction rallies?
Dude, it feels like Iron Banner already, like it comes up and I can't believe it's already faction rally number 2. It's like, wow.
Flies by.
Like we just had one. Slow it down.
Yep. November 7th till the 13th. It will work similar to last month, but we've got some changes in the patch notes to how some of the rewards will work. Senior designer Tim Williams explains, here's some changes they made. Strikes now reward faction tokens at a range of 5 to 9 faction tokens per completion, up from 3 to 7. Nightfall now rewards 10 to 18 on the first completion per character. Completing heroic public events now rewards 5 faction tokens, down from 8. And then finally, this is the biggest change, destroying enemy resources no longer reward faction tokens. You
Can't
can
do
open
the loot cave type of thing.
Yeah, no more farm in the loot cave by yourself for faction tokens, which is something I ended up having to do. But you can now open Lost Sector chests and get a reward of 3 faction tokens, and it will work for each fire team member in your party. So at least you'll be able to do this with a fire team, and everybody gets a reward, as opposed to just one person.
I feel like these are generally good changes. Like, the one thing I don't like is, why is it 5 to 9? So if you get 5, you're screwed. If you get 9, you get almost double. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's with the range?
Why don't you just give
why not
7?
Just say,
or
just give
or
us
8.
9.
Nightfall too. You do a whole Nightfall, you get 10. Your friend's like, oh, I got 18. So he basically did 2 Nightfalls.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Okay. But I
weird.
think calming down public events, like heroic public events awarding 8, that was insane. Like, you do 3 you could just spend an hour doing public events, and then you go and get like 3 packages. It was pretty bonkers when it first came out. Like, I was just cruising through public events and opening package after package after package. So I feel like making them a little bit more rare isn't a bad thing, especially since they up strikes and the Nightfall. But the only thing now is just, the thing that kind of sucks is that certain people last time, they opened their packages the maximum of 30 times and like still didn't get, the number for Future War Cult. They just like,
right.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they've added something. Either let us open it as many times as we want. Like, I don't know why there's a cap at all. Like, there's no advantage for opening it 100 times compared to someone who opens it 6 times. You know what I mean? Aside from you get the weapons that aren't as good as Uriel's gift. But anyways, but it doesn't make a ton of sense. Or hopefully they put something in place that will eventually award you all the loot before you get to that cap, if there is a cap.
Yeah, that's the only criticism I've heard is, obviously they didn't really, they're not big fans of like loot cave type stuff where you can just run in circles by yourself and farm.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with them
tokens like crazy,
that,
but
no big deal.
One of the criticisms I heard though is like, if I can't do that, at least make the reward system more, better. So
Exactly.
We're not getting duplicates. And like you said, there's not a cap. I do love though with this stuff that they're implementing in Destiny 2, like that they're continuously giving us reasons to go back out to public events and stuff, so it's not just a wasteland out there in patrol. I hope they continue to do more stuff like that.
Yeah, I like how this is, that the faction rallies they're more sparingly used, and we've got a second one here, and there's like entirely new weapons for the rewards and entirely new weapons for the most part being offered by the vendors too. So even if you were going absolutely ham and got every weapon last time, you've got a reason to come play this time, which is very good, I think.
Right. Yep.
And the best reason is so New Monarch can win, and we can all get this awesome sword, right?
Dude, I feel like honestly, they are testing it.
let's just say not Dead Orbit. I'll be okay with the fusion rifle, but I will not be okay with the grenade launcher.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I of course, I'm mostly a Dead Orbit dude, and I feel like they're having some fun with this. Like, throwing up a grenade launcher, like, they are
single
really
shot grenade launcher.
It.
There are good grenade launchers. This one is not one of them. The stats are on the database.
We
if
shall
you think that
see.
If anyone's out there like, oh, maybe there's some secret perk where it explodes and does 1 billion damage, and then Callus spawns on top of the enemy and squishes him. I've looked at the stats. They're on the database. Nope. It's not. It's terrible. It's basically the Flash and Thunder, but black.
Yeah, they're like, let's just see what all these Dead Orbit
it might actually be an interesting test that they're like, they do this and they have this weapon and they're like, if Dead Orbit wins again, we might have an issue.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Do we, with the weapons that they're showing here, which we can go over, are these for each faction, like, is this what is in the loot pool entirely, or like can people still farm to get the Dire Promise like on Dead Orbit?
No, so basically the 4 weapons in the pictures you're seeing, like for New Monarchy, there's the sniper, the other scout. It's funny that all of the it seems that all of the reward weapons last time are now in the normal loot pool, like the Suros sidearm, the Future War Cult pulse rifle, and the Dead Orbit scout, the heavy hitting one. They're all now you can just get them normally. But yeah, you can't get the old weapons, just these 4 from the packages.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really thought like I was thinking like Dire Promise would be back in the loot pool and stuff like that. But I mean, that keeps it fresh. That works. I got my eye on hand cannons immediately, especially playing on PC lately. So it's like only one. There's a new monarchy.
But something interesting, the Future War Cult submachine gun, that's got phase magazine. And we all know, you get down to that 600 rounds per minute, and magic happens.
Mm-hmm. It's a good gun.
Anti-Op D, anyone?
Yep. Could be a good substitute. So yeah, that does make Future War Cult look mighty attractive.
The Dead Orbit auto rifle also, it's a 720, I think it is, rounds per minute one. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's one of the faster shooting ones. Like, I think there's only a couple of Vice ones that shoot that fast. So 720 or something, and it's got high caliber rounds. So that's going to be...
Did they mention...
I mean, we just said we don't want Dead Orbit to win, but I'm going to get that auto rifle no matter what it takes.
I remember it was mentioned previously that they're going to have it so that you can get both energy and kinetic versions of weapons. Was that... Am I just thinking about Iron Banner? They're going to be doing that?
No, what I think I know what you're talking about. I think what they basically said is like there's a different version of everything, not in the sense of there's actually a kinetic and energy version of the same weapon. It's just that every weapon has its counterpart. Like they don't just have a hand cannon that's kinetic. They also have an energy hand cannon. It's a totally different hand cannon, but they've got like... Basically, what they're saying by that is like all of the different slots are filled in. They're not missing any combinations.
Gotcha.
I wanted to skim back over this. They didn't mention anything about Crucible again either, did they?
Did they do a big patch recently though about like changing the score needed to win and so on?
Stuff.
Yeah. I just mean like the incentive for. I would think in Crucible would be intertwined in all this faction rally stuff. It's kind of interesting.
That
it's still
you would think they would up the rewards for Crucible matches because that and strikes the payoff's kind of low, you know.
Yeah. No, you're right. Crucible matches should definitely be something that's looked at. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't.
I guess we'll see about that. Well. Faction rallies to look forward to this coming week. I know I'm going to be grinding for my favorite faction, New Monarchy. I encourage you to do so as well, so Dead Orbit doesn't win. And we'll see how these changes play out. Hopefully it will vary up, what people are playing and not just
There's going to be some diehard Dead Orbit fans listening just stewing right now. Just like, I can't believe these
three. They're going to be so mad. So mad.
Dude, they got to... I've always liked my Dead Orbit, my Titan gear in Destiny 1, but they've got to do a little work on that Titan gear. Like I'm just
the Warlock gears.
Come on, guys. Like I miss my shiny, sleek, black and white Titan armor.
Bungie does everything possible to avoid giving you the actual just blackout shader. Like that's what everyone wants, and they know it, so they just keep getting closer and closer, almost all black with a little bit of white on the inside or something. But they just won't go full.
I know the
blackout.
one Dead Orbit one's pretty solid. The camo one is instantly like, I'm like, yeah, this one's just gonna stack up. I don't really care for the camo looking Guardian. You
don't like the urban camo to hide in the tower?
No 80s G.I. Joe camo for your Titan?
Space magic, man. Like, more Tron looking stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, in other news, we had the return of the Bungie Bounty this week with Miss She Snaps. That was on the 3rd this past weekend. I think she was located in Chicago. So that was back, and they had a few of the Bungie community, the Bungie development team, a couple of testers, and Cosmo teamed up with She Snaps for that. I don't know if I'll ever get an emblem for the Bungie Bounty. So difficult.
Last time I tried to do it, I was on the wrong platform, so I'm a good ways.
What was she on
Rip.
Xbox, actually?
You remember that funny story? I was like, am I going to share this? I'm sitting here trying to matchmake, and then I realize I'm on the wrong platform.
That's great. Classic.
Yeah, what in the world?
In the Destiny player support team, they reminded that reset times are going to fall back along with daylight savings time. So it happens at 1 a.m. Pacific. Remember, if you're playing really late this week, when that reset time is, so you don't get caught in the middle of a Trials card when the weekly reset happens.
Mm-hmm.
They are still working on some PC issues. There's been an update, a hot fix that we'll talk about, 1.0.6.1. And they also addressed some performance degradation that will hopefully help some of you. Trials of the Nine came back this weekend. I think it was Survival on...
Was it back on...
What's the map?
Oh, it was Javelin, right?
Javelin.
Yeah.
Survival on Javelin.
Fit in a little bit.
And also on PC. Either you guys get some trials in this weekend? I did not.
I snuck some in on PC just to test the waters.
How was it? Was it super sweaty?
It was. I played with a team of the Derp fam that we've never played together. We had a blast. We got some wins, but not getting used to our coordination and playing with the normal team. It was sweaty. So we tried to factor in the fact that we've never played together, and it was still pretty sweaty. So it was good though. It was a good time.
That's good. Last, there was some additions to the community mentors. These guys work tirelessly in the Bungie.net forums on the help forum, and they actually get a pretty cool, legit emblem for being a community mentor. So congratulations and welcome to DMH Sutter, DMH Tosh, Black Faya Man, and the Catalyst. That's 3 Ys.
Those Ys.
They get the unique Vigilant Console emblem.
Just to totally derail for a second, do you guys recognize where they're at in orbit with the 6 emblems there? The 6 player activity?
Potentially, are you thinking Mercury?
Dude, well, okay, we won't dive into this too deep right now, but I just wanted to throw it in there so we hit back on it with the news.
Are you thinking the moon, or even more far ahead?
Dude, yeah, okay. So I watched some stuff this week, and there's some speculation on this image because everything's put into this TWAB strategically. So that's where I'm going with it. We'll move on, but I just wanted to throw that out there so we didn't forget when we get the news.
All right, we'll circle back around to that.
Reset.
Then we had the movies of the week, always worth checking out. And that was this week at Bungie. Let's talk real quick about a couple of updates that are worth discussing here. We had Destiny 2 hotfix 1.0.6. So, first big thing they fixed was an issue with collision detection on the bureaucratic walk that allowed people to glitch through every map in the game.
Lamau.
Yep, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Fixed an issue causing players to encounter empty public spaces too often in free roam. I've had a lot of...
I thought that was so much anecdotal stuff, right? Everyone was like, dude, I'm not matchmaking with anyone. What's going on?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that. I've never had that problem, but
it really seems to be solo versus in a party. If you got one other person in your party, there is people flying around. There's sparrows just being tossed around the map, and there's people throwing birthday parties in the corner, and it's insane. But if you are solo, you don't get matched with anyone. And the fact that I actually said that is that I was so happy that it wasn't just random chance and it was actually something going wrong. So
yeah.
I've even noticed since that patch, it seems to be if I'm going solo, if I'm rocking solo trying to get my flashpoints done, I'm matching with people a lot more. And I think it's a really good change.
I don't feel like I experienced it a lot, but then as soon as I saw this bullet point and leveling my character on PC, there's 3, 4, there was a lot of people at each of them doing my flashpoint stuff. It's wow, okay, yeah, this is fantastic.
You feel a lot when you feel it a lot when you're trying to pull down a heroic event by yourself, and it's one of the harder ones, and you're getting so mad, and you're looking around, and you're like, are you telling me it's like week 2 of Destiny 2, and nobody's in this area? Are you telling me this?
Seriously.
You knew something's not right.
Yep. So good job that they rooted that out and solved that. I think it'll make everybody's experience better in public spaces. Second, they had the changes to faction rallies that we discussed, and then we've got some Crucible changes. So first off, updating Mercy rule settings to allow Mercy to activate slightly later in the match, allowing for a wider range of scores to trigger it.
Good.
Yes. It was very rare that I've seen Mercies.
It was insane.
And I've expected them at times. It never happened.
You're playing Control and you're winning like 80, 80 to 20, and you're like, why are you putting them through this? Like, why are you doing this to these people?
Like, why are we still playing this game?
Exactly.
So that's good. And then we've got a change to Clash, reducing the score limit to 50 from 75. I think that's a step in the right direction to prevent games from just going to time, which happens way too much. I don't think it's a terrible idea to make games a little more short and compact in some cases. Control, reduce score limit to 90 from 100. We were talking about this, I think, last week when we were previewing these. What's with the 90, right?
That doesn't make much of a difference.
That number?
But I think it might be just because I noticed so many games went to time when it was you're almost about to win with the score, right? You were in the 90s, you were in the high 80s, and it would go to time. So now it's just more likely to win by points.
Yeah, I'm just curious if they just had a lot of data that showed matches ending, between 90 and 100 due to time, and they just, it's more common than we realize. Reduce influence enemy-controlled zones exert over the spawning system. And then survival, this is a big change. I'm interested in how this played AER0KNIGHT. Reducing round limit time to 2 minutes from 3, and reducing life count to 6 from 8. So how did that feel in your Trials cards?
Dude, there is 6 to 6, excellent. There's no way there's not going to be a follow-up change to this, man. I cannot imagine. You are fighting the clock. Every single round we played, we were fighting the clock, and everyone
to keep it from going to time.
Yeah, dude. It is so short, and everyone figured out what you had to do so much. We adopted it after probably like card 1. If you get ahead 1 kill, you completely change your play style, and you set back like you have scories or something. And some people, if you're steamrolling a team, this doesn't even matter. But for the general way Trials plays out with survival, 2 minutes is so fast, and it straight up changed the way people were playing survival, because you win. If you have more lives, you win. The point cap doesn't matter. So
I was concerned about that, because we talked about this about a month ago.
Yeah.
When I encountered a team that used that mechanic to their advantage, they would make sure they were 1 win ahead, and they would just turtle up.
Yep.
With
that's what we had
a whole
all
bunch
weekend.
of rifts and shields, and
are you saying
you had to get
Are you
in
telling
there.
me people in Destiny 2 PvP are in the back with, I don't know, let's say Mida multi-tools camping? Are you telling me this happened?
Dude, the problem
real,
with
man.
it is
I have not ever experienced that ever in Destiny 2 PvP.
This is the way Bungie intends survival to be played, dude. And not only were they doing that, but it was extremely successful for anyone. We had a team that never left the spawn. We would push to power. We would hold down power like you typically want to do as a strategy. And they won. They steamrolled us. The only way we figured out to counter it was just to bum rush them in their spawn, which then in turn would flip the spawns, and then you're just dealing with it all over again. But to keep it constructive, I can't imagine this is the way they intend for survival to be played in. They almost have to add at least 30 seconds or that minute back. But otherwise, the changes are fantastic.
I think it would be smarter just to remove that mechanic that allows you to win if you have more lives.
Very true.
I think it needs to go to the point.
Yep.
It makes
I
it
100% agree.
It pushes it to
No, you're right.
The point of the game
that's
was
the
just
solution.
to fight guardians.
Yeah, because otherwise we'll just be doing it at 3 minutes. It may be less often, but I will tell you, every 2 minutes is crazy fast. I know we talked with CJ about this last week, like how they're just shortening times, and that's fantastic and stuff. But I do not like to feel rushed, and normally I don't in Crucible, but it was every single round. Like, we look up, we have 30 seconds left, we're down a kill, and it's like, dude, this is not working. This does not work.
I just think if they added time back to the rounds, that they would need to reduce the number of one rounds by 1 or 2 rounds to make. I think overall each game is just too long.
Yeah,
and it wears you out. It makes it, for me at least, less fun of a mode to play because you're just in the same game dealing with the same team for so long. Like,
yeah. I think there's definitely a middle ground there. Like, I don't like to have to be conscious of the time, but again, like you just said, I don't want to be facing the same team for what seems like an extended period of time. So
30 minutes.
Yeah, that's for them to figure out that sweet spot. But with some experience in survival trials this weekend, 2 minutes is too short for sure, I think.
Okay.
Perhaps they could fix it by having one flag or something in the middle of the map, like the B flag, and you win by either eliminating the other team, or if it's a tie and there's still players alive, whatever player controls that flag will win. Because then you can't have people camping, because if you camp in the back the whole time, the other team will capture the flag and just be like, all right, and then they'll win. So it just you actually going to have to play the game, which is
dude.
that's
forgot
why I think they
that
just
lives
need to remove
win. Yeah,
that live mechanic so that it just has to go to the cap.
Yeah, I mean, that just draws everybody out. Yeah, I agree, man. That's definitely.
And then it gives an opportunity, like if a team is down and they have the capacity to, you have 2v3 or whatever, if they have the capacity to pull off a big play, then that makes it even more fun. Like, there's more up for grabs if you can upset, if you can turn that around. But if you can just win based on lives, like, there's no incentive
to leave your spawn
for the top player to go out there and go to the cap,
Definitely.
So
it's crazy to think, though, to me, like, a whole round of survival with 6 live pool is only 2 minutes. Like, that's so. I mean, by the time you get to power ammo, 20 seconds is gone.
Well, they might be just crazy. Experimenting. I feel like they went intentionally really far in the other direction to kind of see what would happen, and then they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, this was a bad idea," and kind of peel it back.
Oh, for
the more I think about it, the more 2 minutes makes it even easier for a team just to turtle up, because you have a whole minute less that you have to worry about a rush. And yeah, hopefully they'll see how people are playing and make some more adjustments soon.
I'm sure.
I really feel like survival is a mode that can work. It's just got to get the right balance to the scoring and time and everything, and it'll be fun. For whatever reason, they don't want elimination back. If it has to be survival, we've got to find a balance.
Yeah, and
that
I
works.
really enjoy it as a game mode. Yeah, I just think they got to hit that sweet spot since it's a new addition.
Well, it's if you look at a lot of other games that kind of have those like hardcore, you don't get to revive sort of games, Search and Destroy and Call of Duty, even like Counter-Strike, they've always got some sort of objective to bring you out. You got to plant the bomb. You got to go out of your spawn. You got to go do something. That's key.
Yeah.
If you're going purely on kills, like that's why Clash is so slow sometimes. You go purely on kills, you just stay in the back, Midas snipe people, right, for the win, and it can be problematic.
Yeah, and they even mentioned, when they announced survival, how they added power ammo in a center point of the map to incentivize and to draw people out, and I just don't think that's enough. I mean, you'll have those fights sometimes, but a smart team won't care. They'll just sit back and guard the ammo, and that's it.
Also, power ammo isn't as effective as a team shot. I mean,
right.
You got a sniper rifle, you got 2 people with scouts looking at you. Good luck.
Yeah. One person
some people can
get
pull it off, not many.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Supremacy increased score to win to 70, but now you get 1 point for defeating an enemy Guardian. And adjusted the influence enemy crests have on the spawning system. So Supremacy obviously is
awesome. Yeah.
a big, point of contention because it comes up so much in quick play. I personally enjoy Supremacy. I don't have any problem with it, but not everybody's a big fan. But I think it's a good move to adding this point. So you're getting some kind of reward for, performing past, just picking up crests. I'm interested. I haven't been able to play any Supremacy yet since they made this change, but I want to see how the pace changes in those matches.
I haven't played a ton. I think it's come up a couple times, but I would think this change would bring on some more Supremacy fans. I think this is a good one for sure.
Yeah. There's some changes to the companion apps on Android with performance, and then on Android and iOS, making it a little bit easier to find clans, which is always a great move. And then on the PC, we had 1.0.6.1. They fixed the issue with clan rosters not showing properly and a gradual performance degradation. Era, have you played on your PC since this happened? This change?
Yeah, I play.
How's it for you?
Dude, I read these patch notes and I was like, wait, where's the memory leak fix?
That's got to be
and then
the
it's at the very bottom. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, there it is at the very bottom. Dude, it definitely fixed that. I can stay logged in, but there's a new problem that has surfaced. I'm sure everyone listening knows about, which is the frame stutter that happens periodically, especially in an engagement. And let me tell you, I'm sure many would say this is worse than just having to restart your app
because
every
there's nothing
hour
you can
so.
do about it for
nothing, dude. It is painful. I mean, it wasn't all the time, but it happened enough, pretty regular in one game of Trials. It's just like, oh, dude, this. Okay.
So I've 2 nights this week tried to get on and play, and it was rough enough that I was like, I don't have to play this on PC if this is.
Yeah, just wait.
I'm just gonna wait. And then I tried some more today to play, and then I'm having issues with the game client crashing.
Oh, really?
3 times it happened on me. So.
Oh, wow.
I really hope they can straighten this out because it's made.
They need to straighten
overall
out
experience
fast.
tough.
They need to straighten out fast because and stuff like Destiny, like going Trials, the raid, right? That was added recently too.
Yeah.
To PC, that is asking for, I don't want to say perfection, but close to it. You got to win 7 in a row. You can't lose once, and so you're 1v1ing for the win. You get a frame stutter. That's just going to ruin your entire experience. At the raid too, you get a frame stutter at the wrong time, you miss the scion that you're supposed to shoot, and it's all over.
Yeah.
So
the thing that stinks is like they seemed to launch so smooth on PC, and then they had the initial issue with the memory leak, and then now this. Like these are a couple of things. I mean, we thought it stunk that we had to reboot the app, the game every hour, but now this, it's like these are things you can't work around. Like they affect your gameplay, and it really does stink for both parties. Obviously they want to fix it.
Stuff like this is gonna, stuff just happens. Like someone, entered the wrong code, whatever. It's like, I don't know the super details of the background. I'm sure it's incredibly complicated, but it's just one of those things where it's like, look, it has to be fixed because it is a major issue, and it's ruining a lot of people's Trials runs or raids or even strikes or whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, Bungie tweeted today, we've got a hotfix coming in, 1.0.6.2, that they believe will fix they call it hitching, is the term they're using. So that's coming in for us tomorrow. We're recording on a Sunday. It's Monday, November 6th.
Which is awesome.
And they're also going to be doing some server maintenance at the same time. So hopefully they'll resolve this quick, and I'll get to get on tomorrow night and
can't wait to see what new PC bug occurs from fixing
the
current PC bug.
It's neat though. I mean, they've been regularly doing their maintenance on Tuesdays and dropping this stuff, so it's cool to see them get this out quick on a Monday. And
I said, though, it's one of those things you need to fix it. Like, don't delay it even a day.
great thing on the bright side with PC is they can be a lot more nimble.
Yeah.
Without having to, send stuff for certification. So, we are having more issues, but at least they can address it in a much quicker way than they would on console. So,
yeah. Can't wait.
Let's knock on wood,
PC
gentlemen,
grindage.
that they straighten things out with this fix, and we can have a smooth experience on PC, because I'm really enjoying it when I get to play on PC, but except for those things. Well, that's the majority of the news this week, besides the DLC announcement. We're going to get up to that. But first, we want to talk about our sponsor this week. You ready to talk about Blue, AER0KNIGHT?
Of course. I'm ready to talk
Okay,
about
so, and, I asked Kackis before the show. He actually is on a Blue Yeti himself, so he can talk about Blue with us.
Blue. Nice.
We are all today using, on the Destiny Reset podcast, Blue microphone products for all of our audio.
Blue High?
Blue Yeti is just one of the mics that Blue creates. They also have headphones, which we love. Their award-winning products are the driving force behind professional musicians, content creators, and elite gaming teams, and Twitch streamers and YouTubers. Their Yeti USB mic is the internet's most popular microphone. And they've got awesome MoFi and Lola headphones. We have the Lolas. Man, I can't brag enough about these headphones. Like, we've had them for a while now.
So
I use them for everything now. They're super comfortable and they sound really good. And they have a really nice, like, personalized fit. So they fit really well on your head, no matter how it's shaped or if it's lumpy or if it's smooth. Mine is lumpy. Blue offers everything you need to completely immerse yourself in the ultimate gameplay experience. So if you want to learn more about Blue, you can go to bluemic.com. We've gotten something special for our listeners only. You can save 20% on most of their products. We say most of their most popular stuff. Now, Blue has some super high-end stuff that this discount code won't work for if you're going to buy a $5,000 microphone. But if you want to pick up some headphones or a Blue Yeti or something awesome like that, you can do so by using the product code Destiny Reset in the Blue Mic store.
Yes.
And 20%, pretty good deal.
Yeah,
when you're
Blue,
looking at picking up a mic.
They did let us know too that the Spark SL that you've heard Cyborg and I talk about that we were provided, that is now included for all of you guys.
Yes,
can get that
indeed.
now.
So
Yes.
if you were looking for an XLR style mic, the Spark SL is great. We're preparing to move over to those pretty soon, and I've tried it, tested it. Sounds great as well. But those mics, those headphones, they're great. We're going to be giving away with Blue. We're going to have several giveaways of their products this month in November. So if you would like a chance to win a Blue Yeti or a pair of Lola headphones, what you need to do is go give us a follow on Twitter. Keep your eyes peeled on Twitter and on Facebook, where we will talk about our giveaways this month. You're going to have several opportunities to pick up a free piece of equipment from Blue. So go give us a like or a follow so you can take part in those giveaways.
At Destiny Reset. Yeah, they're like, guys, we want you to give some stuff away to your listeners.
And we're like,
okay.
If you want to twist our arm,
we'll do it.
I guess. So, Kackis, how have you liked your Blue Yeti? I mean, you've got to use that thing a lot with all the videos you create.
Well, to answer your question, yeah, I'm using a Blue Yeti right now. I used actually a Snowball for the longest time, but that did the job. And the Snowballs are really, really portable. In fact, I'm probably going to bring my old Snowball when I go. I'm going to Hawaii later in November. I'm probably just going to bring that with me as my portable mic. I can just quickly do a video on the fly. Actually, the stream number 2 for Osiris is coming out while I'm in Hawaii, so hopefully I won't be too distracted. I hope we can get that video done. But
look, this guy, he's complaining about the awesome weather I'm having. He's about to go to Hawaii.
Dude, why do you think I need to go to Hawaii to get out of this frozen dungeon of just
makes a lot
icicles
of sense.
And polar bears and just horrible stuff? And it's okay, no, there's no polar bears here. Well, where I am. But yeah, I switched to the Yeti recently, and it's been it's been quite good.
Awesome, man. So again, go to bluemic.com, product code Destiny Reset, save yourself 20% if you need a pair of headphones or a new microphone.
All right, well, as we always like to do, Kackis, guests go first. How was your reset this week, man?
Well, I got on. I definitely did all my flashpoints, getting that done. Trying to get exotic so I can get the Skyburner's Oath. It is avoiding me at all costs.
Oh, man. You're not missing much, buddy.
Listen, you may be right, but I want to get 6 people. I want to take that thing through the raid. That's what I want to do. I want to see if it's saying. I even if I know it's gonna be bad, I'm very curious to see what it could be like. I mean, it's meant to fight the Cabal. Who knows? I want to try it out just for entertainment purposes. I actually did a raid versus video with the Fighting Lion, so it can't possibly be worse than that.
Nice. It's not terrible.
It's also just a completion thing. It's really bothering me that I don't have all the exotics, and so I'm public event grinding and all that stuff. I've gotten 14 Graviton Lances, so that's really fun.
Wow. If it makes you feel better, I don't have Fighting Lion on any character yet. So you're chasing Skyburners, I'm chasing Fighting Lion.
I feel like I'm chasing a little harder than you're chasing. You're not really going after the Fighting Lion. That if you get it, cool. I got all the exotics. If you don't, I think you'll be okay.
I'll live. Yeah. Skyburn. I will tell you, Skyburners. I found the most utility if you're doing the flag portion in between raid encounters where you're fighting a lot of phalanxes. Yeah. It works well there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's we did the Sunshot recently, and that was unbelievable in that section.
Yeah.
Everyone has solar shields pretty much. It cranks those Cabal really, really good for that section. But of course, that section doesn't hold a lot of weight because you can just skip it, right? So
you can. I opt not to because it's fun.
Yeah, and the first time you do it, you get the rewards. So
yeah. At least do it once. AER0KNIGHT, how was your reset, man? What else have you been up to this week?
Dude, this week I've still been grinding the PC character. I think I'm pushing like 270 at this point, just trying to get my PC character up there so I can swap back and forth between PS4 and PC. I'm really enjoying it, man. As we've all heard, we talked about last week, I'm loving hand cannons on PC in the Crucible.
So is literally trials. Everyone playing.
Oh, right? Yeah, people running double hand cannons and stuff. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Hopefully, I really hope they adjust something on console, even if it's like get rid of Bloom or something to make it somewhat comparable. Jumped into trials and did most of my milestones so I could maybe fit in a little bit of trials just to see what that scene was like. And shout out to the Derp Fam fire team I had, very cool. Never really the four of us never really played together, so with that in mind, we played pretty well. We hit 3 wins. But I'm looking forward to jumping into trials again next weekend on PC. I just want to see. I did the same on Xbox. Like, I like to see the competition, what it feels like on each platform. So PC, I'm definitely excited to jump in and see. Especially myself, I'm getting used to it. Mouse and keyboard's feeling really good. Kind of getting used to the close quarters battle with my shotgun. So I'm amped to jump back in there and see what we can do.
Good, man. This week I tried and failed at the Prestige raid.
Oh,
we got a really late start and finally got in there and bumbled around in the baths for a while. And then decided, we started out, we're like, let's do challenge and the prestige. That wasn't working out so great. Then we dropped the challenge portion of it, and then one of our guys had to get off to go to bed for work, and we were like, all right, I don't think we want to try to find another person at 1:30 in the morning, so we're going to throw in the towel on this. So we're going to try it again next week, I think. We just were not, like, I don't think we were organized or just determined enough to give it the try that it needed. Everybody in there was absolutely capable, but we'll try it again. We'll get after it. I just don't think anybody's in a hurry, man. Like, Prestige Raid usually pulls a lot of interest, or at least Heroic Raid in the past. But with not a lot of loot at stake, and, the raid is fun, but it makes a big difference for there to be incentives. And
it has been, I can speak to that. It's been an unbelievable difference in the interest between the normal raid and absolutely no one cares about the Prestige Raid. It's really sad to see, but my views and everyone else's views will attest that. Like, normal raid guide is like pushing 2.3 million views because everyone wants to know how to do the normal raid. The Prestige Raid guide is like 50,000 views for Callus or whatever. So it's just like, I mean, again, and I might be an anomaly, but other content creators kind of the same thing. The interest is just not there because you need those weapons. Like, if you think back, the Vex Mythic Blast was a heroic weapon, and that was such a desirable piece of loot that even if you never end up, even if you had never ended up doing the heroic Vault of Glass, you still played the game with that goal in mind. You played, you grinded, you got the best weapons you could because you wanted to take that next step. And removing that next step from Destiny 2, I mean, you see it in the player base count. It's really hurt it.
Yeah. I, being that PvP Guardian that still hasn't ran the raid, like, every time I'm getting a crew together.
You mean Scrub?
Right, there you go. Thank you for that call out.
Calls him like the season.
Hey, but like, I'm like, okay, I'm looking to jump into the raid, and I was actually going to run it last weekend, and we even tried to plan ahead like a day, and we couldn't get a fire team together. But everyone that I asked is like, yeah, don't bother with the Prestige, just do the normal raid.
It's
don't mess with
if you were going to do it, I would say the same.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean,
there you go.
Fact, calling it just pretty much how I see it right now. It's obvious the player base has shrunk in the past few weeks. One of my fire team buddies texted me last week, and he's like, "Are we already at the point where nobody's logging in every week? Like, are we there already?" And
I think Faction Rally will help, but yeah, my friends list has been desolate.
Yeah, it's and not bringing this up as a matter of like just bashing the game. It's just the reality of what's going on, and we've talked about this in depth on the show, and plenty of people talk about it everywhere else. I'm hoping that they are able to, I think there's always going to be a sort of an ebb and flow, the player population. That's always been the case with Destiny. But even what I'm finding is that even the players that were hardcore Destiny guys and gals that would stick around through those ups and downs that might still be playing, even those folks are not showing up as often now. And that's where I see that there's been some missteps made in this game. And I think that they're, I'm taking the communication we're giving and taking them at their word that they're looking on ways to improve that for us. So I want to stay positive. It's just kind of a tough spot right now for a Destiny player that wants to play,
There's no doubt in my mind that the game's going to improve. I mean, when I look at vanilla Destiny and then I look at Age of Triumph Destiny, it's like two different games.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of so much improvements were made. And so that's what makes me quite excited. We're going to get the Curse of Osiris, and then we're going to get the Warmind DLC, and it's going to be big steps forward, hopefully. But of course, you've got to respect the argument that, you make that argument, you see a lot of people, or especially I see a lot of people in the comments saying, well, why do we have to go through this again? Why do they have to make these mistakes in the first place, especially if they learned from that in Destiny 1 and improved it in Destiny 1. And that's a good point. Like,
It's a
one of
valid
those things where
concern.
I'm very hopeful. Yeah, I'm very hopeful for the future of the game. I totally believe in Bungie that I think they're going to fix this. They've got the live team coming in for season 2, and those guys are grizzled vets at this point, like listening to us, and they know exactly, what needs to be done in a lot of aspects. But at the same time, I think it's fair to say that Bungie really needs to kind of, especially communicate with each other, talk about what happened in Destiny 1, talk about where things were improved so that they don't, keep making these same pitfalls.
Yeah.
I'll say, I mean, PC hit at the right time. I am having fun grinding another character, and
The
it is
original
fun
grind is
to-
so fun. That's the thing.
and that's like to even get the static roll drop weapons again is fun. I just know that it's coming, that I'm gonna have everything I want pretty quick, and luckily the DLC trailer we're gonna talk about that's coming, it was a nice pleasant surprise. And I think not to trail off too much, but yeah, I think you guys are right. We all agree, like Bungie knows how to implement some things. They already threw it in the bullet points of the TWAB, one TWAB ago. So I think way faster than we saw with Destiny 1, we're gonna have our incentive back. We're gonna have reasons to log in.
I think I just want to mention that what you said about the static weapons. It was a big gamble doing that, and as it would appear right now, maybe not the best gamble because no one has anything to go for. But they can turn this around because they have these static weapons. They have the opportunity to go in with the next big balancing patch and literally change weapons individually. Like, no one's using the number, give it a different perk, or give it extra range, or give it a or a weapon that isn't seeing use. You know what? Take out adaptive frame, put in precision frame. Bam! Now you've got a competitive weapon potentially. They can go in and look at each weapon individually and say, what, this weapon isn't seeing play, we're going to change this perk, we're going to change this perk, we're going to change this stat. Suddenly, we've got a completely new meta. So if they're doing that, like, this static roll thing is going to come out as a really good decision. If they're not doing that, it could be very problematic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, the static rolls give them a really good foundation to build on the mod system, which is really basic right now. And they've already mentioned that they have plans to do that. And there's a huge amount of potential with the mod system, with what they could do. And I think it makes it an even better foundation for them that we do have static rolls. So when they add mods for certain types of guns, they can have a better scope of what those changes will make.
I'm a little concerned about that, because I think you could be right, and I'm excited to see what they do with the mod system, but I don't want it to devolve into this mod adds extra stability, and this mod adds extra range. So 99% of the time you're adding more stability, and then with hand cannons you're adding extra range. I mean, that's pretty much what the perk system broke down to being in Destiny 1.
My hope
is stability, range a little bit with some weapons.
My hope is it's a lot more creative, and they're able to use the mod system to do things incentivize-wise that they haven't with guns. If you could imagine, everybody can get the base gun of Nameless Midnight, but there's a mod floating around that you can only get from a certain activity that you can add to that gun that would give it an exotic perk, or just something that would make the gun super fun. I mean, they could add rarity to mods. There's so much they can do that would make the game more interesting to play, that would give you that feeling back of having weapons that are interesting, fun, that almost break the game at times. That feeling that we got in Destiny 1 of being just feeling super powerful if you had the right stuff. That I think they have an opportunity there.
I don't want to sound like I'm being a Debbie Downer, but I'm a little concerned about just they add stability and range mods.
It could totally be screwed up if they don't do it right.
And stuff like that, where
work to do.
Everyone's looking for the same mods, basically. And again, that's kind of the pitfall of the perk system of the original game. But like you said, they could really have some interesting stuff. A mod that adds explosive rounds to certain guns. And whoa, we've got a meta quite opened up. Or something that or mods that depend on what perks weapons already have. If a weapon already has explosive rounds, maybe it makes the blast radius really big, or it does something totally different. Like you said, the Nameless Midnight and other guns that have that are gonna suddenly skyrocket in value potentially. So they could really do some cool stuff. They could, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. We don't know. We don't know what the heck is happening.
Yeah. Hopefully these are ideas that are already on a whiteboard being considered and thrown against the wall like spaghetti, right? And we just got to see what surfaces. Well, we're talking about this and how we feel about the game now. On a way positive note, guys, great news. In 4 weeks, we've got brand new content. And I mentioned this before, even if we don't see any major changes to the game for months, we've got a whole new slew of content about to drop for us, and that excites me no matter what.
Dude, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I know maybe it was closer than I thought, because we assumed sometime in December. But when they dropped that trailer, I was like, wait, what? No way! I saw it pop up on my feed. I'm like, it was a surprise to me to already get the trailer.
I'm kind of surprised we got a trailer this early, but I've been saying my guess was December 8th, and I was off by 3 days.
Not too much, yeah.
Not bad at all.
But so I was expecting basically around this time, but I agree. Like the trailer kind of was a little surprising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
that's always a
surprising
good
in a good way. Yeah. So
exactly, it was like it was a Christmas miracle. In November.
What was your guys'
October
initial impression of the trailer?
Did I? You go first, Arrow.
No, you go, man. You're the guest.
All right. Well, I thought it looked pretty darn sweet. There's so many unknowns, right?
Yeah.
What are we seeing? Is this the Infinite Force? Like, is this when it showed all of the different pillars basically in the sky, even though there's like something above your head?
Mm-hmm.
If that is the patrol area, that is so sweet. And you're teleporting or you're jumping through like man cannons to these different like little Vex platforms. And like the big ones are where the public event happens. And there's all these small ones. So you get around by just jumping from platform to platform to platform. That's going to be, if that's the case, that'll be so sweet, so different than what we have right now. And the trailer was kind of hinting in that there's a lot of different environments. Even though it's the Vex, we've got the like see-through Vex. So I'm sure we'll have potentially unique abilities and stuff like that. And like you said, Cyborg, where it's, even if they don't fix any of the problems that they should fix, it's just going to be so much more armor, so much more weapons, so much more content that we've got. Again, even if they don't change any of the gun systems, anything like that, we've got several weeks of content of just getting all the new stuff and trying out with the new meta and all that. So that is really, really exciting. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And a new raid activity. I don't know.
What does
why
it
you
mean?
Calling it an activity?
Dude.
Why can't you just say a new raid?
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting. And we've kind of seen the Vexified weapons potentially from the new raid activity. So whatever they do add, if it's a remade raid, if it's something like the Prison of Elders that is meant to act as the end game content, if it's an actual just new raid and they're just being jerks just to tease us, regardless, we're going to have that content. We're going to have more weapons to get and armor in that content. And that is like so much playtime is going to be spent in that new activity. I can't wait.
Yeah, dude, for me, they had me at Osiris, dude. Like, the trailer could have been horrible, but just to know that we get to learn more and we get to see Osiris in action, like,
he looks like a pretty bad mamma jamma.
Yeah.
In this trailer, so they definitely shows off some moves.
Looks like he murdered Big Bird and like was wearing his corpse all those
Nice.
Feathers hanging
That's
out
one
there.
way to look at it.
Definitely
His
interesting.
ghost is fantastic.
Yeah, and did you guys notice... So this was pointed out to me in a few different places, but there's a scene where he's going through what it appears is the Vault of Glass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he ducks behind some cover, and if you look up, you'll see that there's a guardian frozen in time.
Oh, yeah.
With bullet tracers, so he's like moving through some frozen moment of time. I'm just really interested to see what the story is going to be like, where it takes us, and the fact that Osiris is basically a time traveler where we could go with this.
Exciting. So exciting. Like it's endless, limitless, dude. Like I really hope they're crazy creative with this DLC. With what they can do.
You see some of the fan theories like, well, I mean, if we're going back in time, why not a mission where we teleport to the Battle of Six Fronts and you're fighting beside Saint 14? He's like, going around drop kicking everyone with his flying knees and all this stuff, and it's just so sweet. Like that's a possibility where you go to forward or backwards in time, do a mission, and then get teleported back to reality and kind of maybe see what happened or what could happen to help figure out a puzzle or figure out what you need to do to succeed. And yet, like you said, the possibilities are endless. When you have time traveling involved, there's no holding back. You got to have something crazy.
Yep.
And you bring up Saint 14, and the last we heard of Saint 14, the speaker had sent him on a mission to go find Osiris. And I've heard people wonder, like, are we gonna see Saint 14?
Come on, Bungo.
Be around?
Just at the last, like just when a massive minotaur is about to kill you and Osiris, out of nowhere, just flying knee right into its face, just kills him instantly with the OG unnerfed D1 shoulder charge. No one can stop it, and just he wins the day.
My friend had the best spin foil hat fan theory. Okay, that follow me on this. Brother Vance is Saint 14. Now think about it. Saint 14 has a helmet that only has like a glowing slit for an his eye visor or whatever. And think about the ability on the original helm of Saint 14. It would blind enemies within his bubble. You see what I'm saying here? Just what if Saint 14 was blind and he's actually Brother Vance? That would blow my mind.
Dude.
Could be a thing.
That's an interesting theory.
Anyways.
They could do anything.
Just throwing stuff at the wall here. But what we've got promised here, new cinematic story, the Mercury Infinite Forest public space. We've got the Lighthouse social space. We'll be returning to the Lighthouse. New missions, new strikes, and new raid content. Whatever that means. Looks like we'll probably get an increase to our base level. We saw some footage of a PvP map from the Paris, what was it called? Paris game show or something. And it looked like the Guardians were level 25. Probably see a power level increase.
According to Eurogamer, we get an increase to level 25, and we get a power level increase to 330.
330,
yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work, right? Like, are we going to have to level up to 25, and then we can start
I
earning
wondered
power
about that
level?
with, like, blues and greens again. Like, just for 5 levels. I don't know how
that's how it's done in the past.
Yeah. But like, if the current power level is still just scaling based on your power level, I would assume you're leveling up your power level and your level at the same time. Or there's a bunch of different things it could be, but I was actually pretty surprised to hear both. I thought it was just going to be a power level increase.
I just don't get why they've kept this system of levels and then power levels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially with some
all
of the
they do
recent
is act
changes
as
with Destiny
content
2.
gates. That's literally all they're for.
I mean, but we're complaining about not enough stuff to do. This is maybe not the time to simplify something even more.
True.
Guys.
True, yeah.
That Eurogamer had an article, their first look at Destiny 2 expansion, Curse of Osiris, and they mention they're going to have a new character of the female-voiced ghost that belongs to Osiris before she became separated from him, which is, her name is Sagira. And
her name isn't Shkortana.
She's voiced by Firefly and Homeland's Marina Baccarin, another Firefly alum. And then we've got Brother Vance returning.
Your boy.
Interesting stuff. Your boy, Brother Vance.
Yeah, Brother Vance almost seemed like a tease of
He's going to be at the
sorts.
Lighthouse, holding it
There's a
down.
screenshot.
And we get that social space, yeah?
There's a screenshot. You can see him at the lighthouse.
Yep, that's cool, man. It's really
Did
cool.
you guys see the selfie emote?
Oh, dude,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
I love it, dude.
I'm sorry, like say what you will about selfies or ussies, as I call them sometimes. I'm sorry, but this looks pretty funny to have.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait
like,
to have that.
Cactus is sitting there. I can hear in his tone a minute ago. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like different emote.
No, dude. I mean, I'm just not looking forward to getting killed by people
very
who
true.
then send me pictures of them using the selfie emote on me. I get
Dude, it has
teabagged
so
enough
much
as it
potential.
is. I'll get teabagged by people, and then after the match, I get a message that says, "I love your content." I'm like, well, okay,
What?
thanks.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Get
yeah.
your tea out of
It
my
definitely
face.
looks sweet, but I mean, it looks so sweet. So a lot of those emotes look so sweet. The mic drop emote that they first showed for season 2 looks sweet. I mean, but at the end of the day, let's just hope it's not. It is locked behind microtransactions, which could be a little frustrating to get. I mean, that's going to be something that everyone wants to get, and it's super sweet. And again, it's RNG and microtransactions. That's not a good combination.
It's
Right.
totally going to be for sale in Eververse the first week.
I hope so.
Oh,
If it
yeah,
ever is
sure.
for sale, dude, I'm saving up all my currency. I'm gonna buy that like
The
first
silver
thing.
dust.
Yeah,
Yep.
save that up. Save it up. There's nothing more important than the selfie emote. Let's be honest.
Everybody's saving from this point on.
But I think Osiris is a character a lot of Guardians who have at least touched on a lot of the lore. They're familiar with that name.
That'd be one of
So
the coolest Guardians.
I think that my favorite, portion or portions in the lore have to do with, the legends and the heroes of the Destiny universe. So I'm really excited for them to bring some of those guys to the forefront and flesh them out. So Osiris is a pretty big one.
Yeah, I just hope they, I instantly go to like a Rise of Iron equivalent of story and missions, and I really hope it's a bit more fleshed out for who this character is. I mean, we wanted that with the Iron Lords, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like this long, massive stack of new story missions and small campaign, but like definitely, we're not paying for a full game release here, but we're paying for a portion of that. So I don't know. I hope it's pretty fleshed out and we get to learn a lot about Osiris, and it seems like
I know they
satisfying experience.
One of the releases did mention that we're getting a new world quest, which I enjoyed all of those, so that'll be nice. Even if we just get 5 story missions or something rolling this out, if they can just take advantage of the world quests and maybe some adventures to add some layers to
Very
the
true.
story,
Yeah.
I think that
The adventures.
that would help.
I just, it's like we want to know as much as we can. Obviously, there's not going to be a full-fledged campaign, but I don't know. I hope we get some meaty-
Cinematics. More
Yeah, I mean, we're
cinematics.
going to play this story a couple times, maybe 2-3 times, possibly. So they got to put their resources certain other places as well. But Osiris is cool. Like, let's get some content, some story content.
Well, you're absolutely right by that. Osiris is cool. And I think what you said, I hope they really expand on the story. I hope that Rise of Iron, I want more background. I want more background on who these people were, what they did, all that stuff. And I hope they take the time to talk about Osiris. He's such a cool character. They set him up like we so many people know not much about him and still are like, oh, Osiris, like what a cool guy. So let's get some actual cinematics and story and explanations and background about him, and hopefully his relationship to the speaker, to the traveler, which is just awoken, which is very interesting because he wasn't like, he was kind of going against the speaker and going against the traveler at one point. So they have some really interesting dynamics that could go with this story.
For sure. Well, we mentioned this in the TWAB. I mean, like we said, we're getting new missions, new strikes, the classic new raid content. We were talking about that image in the TWAB, possibly being, I mean, it narrows it down instantly because there's a 6-man fire team setting in orbit, orbiting what appears to be something we're not sure of, right? I mean, it's not something currently that we can do, correct? Or am I wrong? This is some speculation I heard in the community that like maybe this is a little hint. I don't know, this whole new raid content, like I can't imagine we're going to get like an extension of the Leviathan. Annoying. I wouldn't think they would do that. I mean, that's kind of, it seems like the equivalent. Yeah.
So
it kind of seems like that's
new raid content.
Even though it would be new content, it's almost the equivalent of no new raid. So I do wonder, like the second stream they mention, I think it said, what did it say? New ways to play, I think. Yeah, new ways to play. So I wonder, it says some of the new preview of some of the new activities. So I don't know. I do wonder, like you mentioned, if it's going to be a different end game like a Prison of Elders.
Well, speaking of Prison of Elders, I think what you've seen, the Activision blog actually kind of broke down the content best. They said new activities, and I think that's going to be under the new things to play. I really envision something like the Archon's Forge coming back. I'm surprised that wasn't in Destiny 2, and I think adding something like that extra little activity to do, having some weapons and armor tied to a new activity, that's a really great kind of time sink. Yeah, you can play the Destiny 2 version of the Archon's Forge in Mercury, earn those exclusive weapons and armor. And that's a great thing to do. But when they said new raid content,
usually that stuff's strategic.
Yeah, it's such a weird wording. They could just mean though, like if they say an all new raid, well, they're not adding just they're adding an all new raid with all new raid weapons, all new raid armor, and they're adding the all of the new challenge modes, and they're adding prestige modes. So they are adding more than just a raid, technically. So that's what maybe they're trying to get at.
They know they gotta be pretty clear, and they know where the Destiny community's expectations are. And with DLC, the community likes to have a new raid. And I do worry a bit, like if they don't throw out some quality of life improvements by the time this DLC drops for incentive and things like that. We were talking about if there's not a new raid, and it ends up, as much as I liked Prison of Elders, and as much as I really actually want, even of all the iterations of it we've gotten, I've mentioned before, I really would love to see a full-blown wave-based game mode. I think that could be pretty cool, especially if it was in-game related. Mm-hmm. But if they don't release a new raid with this, I just worry if some quality of life improvements haven't happened yet, that they may be setting themselves up for some interesting feedback, I don't know.
All right, throwing it out there, land of speculation, gloves off. They remake the Vault of Glass, and they have a new raid in this expansion.
Yeah, or maybe they release a legit full-blown horde mode that's has an in-game aspect of the activity, and we get Vault of Glass back. Let's just keep going.
And they introduce a PvP VE game mode. I still think it'd be sweet to have like a big arena or something, or certain maps, the bigger maps, you'd have like, let's say 6v6, you'd also have like, just bosses like ogres and cabal and stuff, and you get points for killing those enemies. And so obviously you have to kill the other team to keep them off of killing those enemies, and you have to go and kill the enemies that are trying to kill you.
It'd be fantastic.
I think that'd be sweet. And I have absolutely zero reason to think that's coming in this expansion, but it'd be sweet.
Patiently waiting for Cyborg to reel us back in.
I'll let you guys off the reservation for a minute here just to see where it would go.
Bring us back around.
It all sounds fun to me.
Yeah. Cyborg's writing everything down in their list called best ideas ever.
None of you guys have copyrighted or trademarked any of this information, so.
Exactly. The list is number 1, pineapple pizza. Number 2, Vault of Glass remade.
I mean, I would be super interested to see them once again bring the Vault of Glass in some way. I'm not interested in playing the raid again. I think if we saw that, if there was not a completely new raid, and we saw Vault of Glass return, you're going to have more people pissed off than happy about it.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
I 100% agree. As much as I kind of wouldn't... Like, I would actually not mind a remade Vault of Glass, maybe at some point down the line. Even if they redid a ton of encounters and redid the loot system or something, I know for a fact if they do that, like you said, people are going to be furious. People are upset if they remake a Crucible map.
Yeah.
As a throwback map, people get furious. So I can't imagine them remaking a whole raid and offering it as the raid. So
I think the most likely thing I could see happening would be for them to vexify Leviathan or something.
Yeah, which, dude, they might get it for that too. Yeah,
I don't see them doing that.
I just look at the phrasing.
First of all, story-wise, that doesn't make any sense.
I know. I'm totally just reaching for,
Yeah. No, I know what you're
possibilities
saying.
Of if it's not a new raid.
Yeah, exactly.
What else
Them
can
saying
it
raid
be?
content and kind of not just saying a new raid. Everyone's assuming almost the worst. We're the worst, which
well,
I
that's
don't
just
know.
because they know how clear they have to be to their community, and that just seems like strategic word choosing, if you will. Like,
you're right.
Hear me out
So-
here. Last idea to throw against the wall. How would you guys feel if they took Leviathan and they added new encounters into that raid? It would totally fit within the lore.
Like you're making it further in the ship.
Yeah.
I think it could be
And it
cool.
would be
I
new
just don't
challenges for Callus to throw at the Guardians, Well,
because as long as they add new raid weapons, and then some of those weapons are only exclusive to Prestige mode, I don't care what they do.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who isn't regularly raiding recently or not in a while, like I still even know what the raid community is wanting, and I think if you even revisit the Leviathan at all, and that's all that the raid addition is to the DLC. I mean, am I wrong? I think the community is going to be a little.
People are gonna. Dude, people are gonna be.
I think
that would be a really bad idea.
I think there's a lot on the line with what that term is going to mean.
Yeah.
I hope it could also just be something that's very different that they're offering as the end game, and they're hesitant to call it a raid because it's so much different than a raid.
Yeah,
we've seen
that's
so
the
far.
thing too. Is I was just thinking, like, I so badly want that horde mode, like a really fleshed out, awesome horde mode that they can just carry over into, as an activity in the game as DLC, even new DLC comes out. But when they use the word, I mean, it's two of the words. It's raid, and then I don't see how it could be a wave based with them using the word raid, and then content. So that's what is just, everything's up in the air. It's like, what does that mean? It almost, I mean, right now it just seems like an addition, some sort of addition to something we already have. So I don't know. I mean, they'll probably say this week what they mean, and then all this speculation's like,
I think we'll have
we
to
were way
wait
off.
until the second stream where
Yeah,
they
pretty
detail
much.
their new activities to play.
Oh, they're not gonna reveal the raid there. I don't think.
But not even to reveal it, but for them maybe to
Maybe hint at it.
dive
like,
into
maybe
what it
hint at
could
it.
be.
And maybe that word choice was just by accident. It doesn't seem like they would do that
Totally
at this
not.
point. Yeah, so I mean, I would think they're going to clarify as much as they can with their streams, with how much conversation has been going on since they released this. I can't imagine they wouldn't, at some way, address it without, giving away content information. But yeah,
Well,
it's an interesting one.
hopefully we'll find out over the next few weeks what exactly we'll be receiving, and worst case scenario, 4 weeks we do find out.
Yeah,
and we'll be playing it and talking about it, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a lot of fun no matter what. So
yeah.
we've got that to look forward to. So we'd love to hear what you guys think about the Curse of Osiris DLC coming up. What do you think the new raid content will be? Tweet us or send us an email. Let us know what you think, and we'll talk more about that. How about some Derp Fam discourse?
How about it?
We've got an
this
email
week.
from Mike, and I'll read this real quick. We can talk about this cool idea he's got. He says, "Hey Derp Fam, longtime listener of the podcast here. Well, not as long as most, I suppose. I started listening last year, so maybe on the grand scale I'm new. Anywho, with all this talk floating around about the interwebs about how huge of a letdown D2 is, I figured I'd throw you guys a happy, salt-free-ish email about something I would absolutely love to see in PvP, other than the return of Rift. Warlock Masterclass, I'm sorry, that would add so much fun to PvP and really mix things up. First off, imagine a PvP mode in which you fly in with your fire team of 4, and on landing, you're immediately prompted with 2 random modifiers. Obviously, not all PvE modifiers would work, but quite a few of them will and would change your game dramatically in fun ways. Think about this: Brawler and Light Switch, or Daybreak and Chaff, or even, going with D2 modifiers, Attrition and Prism. Prism could be fun if every Guardian spawned in with a random energy overshield that is better taken off with the matching energy. Even a modifier like Small Arms would be great because hand cannons could be a viable game option, and more than just better devils. I can't just help but to think of how fun that would be. That's it. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet because, trust me, just trust me. You guys rock. Keep up the great work. And honestly, Titans? Really? Haha, just kidding. Titans are actually a little less potato, except in armor this time around. Pernisco, Scrub Extraordinaire.
It's a very cool idea.
Thanks for the email.
My favorite is the beginning, the salt-free-ish email. That's a new way to put it.
Compromise.
Salt-free.
That was from Mike?
Yes.
All right, listen here, Mike. Calling Titans. I'm just kidding. That's not a bad idea. It's Mayhem-esque style playlist, but you'd have modifiers.
Yeah.
I can see that potentially being like a special event thing where it appears for a week, and you have this crazy PvP playlist, and it has cool weapons associated with it, and then it's gone for a month.
That'd be an easy way to spice up faction rallies.
Yeah,
for
sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we were talking last week, it'd be nice, whatever they're gonna do to spice up the Crucible directory, like you just mentioned, Kackis, to give us back the weekly, I don't know, the node of the week, if you will, for the Crucible. Like Mayhem, it took me a little bit to adopt Mayhem, but it almost gives you that, if we had stuff like this, that sense of just fun, casual, quick play Crucible. You're just going in to have a good time. It's not sweaty. You've got these modifiers on, and I think this could add that aspect like Mayhem did, for sure.
Brawler's active. Everyone's running around punching each other and stuff. No, you don't get as many Midas. I think that would be
just
a
good
people, departure from what we have now.
Knock them off of their stable base a little bit and just make everybody have a little fun. It almost would have to, right?
Yeah, and they've experimented in the past with stuff like Spooky Trials, Crimson Doubles. I mean, we've seen them take some chances on stuff like this, and I always had a ton of fun anytime they did stuff like that in the Crucible. So I would pay attention, Bungie, to this awesome idea that Mike came up with, even though he hates Titans.
He said he was kidding.
I know, but it came from somewhere. There's a little truth in everything, right?
Exactly. I don't like it.
Cyborg is holding on to it.
Cyborg,
you're a Titan. Don't even.
I'm not a Titan. I play a Titan.
Right. Listen to this guy. That's like
can't change
going
who
to the
I
faction
am
rally
on the
stuff.
inside, okay?
That's like the faction rally stuff, man. You're not a Titan, but you play a Titan. Hold on a second.
Let's change the subject. Let's talk about
Titans are fun.
Dirt Fam patrons.
Let's do it.
If you want to be a patron, that's awesome because patrons help support the production budget of this show. For as little as $1 a month, you can sponsor an orphan podcast. Cue Arms of an Angel here. Go to patreon.com/Destiny Reset. You can pledge as little as $1 a month to help support the production budget of the show. All of our patrons has made a huge impact on the show and for me and Aaron Knight this year in supporting us financially to produce this thing, and it's so awesome. We want to give you guys all a shout out. Do we have any new patrons this week?
We actually do not this week.
This
We
like
had so many last week.
That we haven't had a new one, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine. We thank you guys so much.
But also, if you want to just drop like a $5 tip or something, you can do that too. If you don't want to give every month, we've got a PayPal button on our website that you can find. So we appreciate that too. We've had a number of people do that, and that is equally awesome. So thank you guys so much.
Yes. I said it last week. It just warms our heart. Each week we get that Patreon message, and it's like, man, everybody's so nice.
It's literally like an awesome pick-me-up every time we see somebody take that step. I'm like, oh,
yep.
Another guy.
It's like when we get our iTunes reviews and we read them, it's like, man, this is all right. People listen.
Yep. Which, speaking of iTunes reviews, we appreciate those as well. We've got I want to say over 135 now, which is amazing.
135 plus. Yep.
And if you're on iTunes, you can leave us a review. It helps us get in front of more listeners. That's another way you can help the show. If you want to support us, we appreciate that so much.
Especially if you're a Titan. Finally hearing some Titan love.
That's right.
Coming in here.
If you want to hear more Titans and more pineapple pizza lovers, you can let us know. We're here to help you feel good about liking disgusting food. Kackis.
What was that?
Kackis, tell people where they can find you and your awesome content, man.
Vimeo.com. You definitely just want to go to YouTube and then just type in KackisHD in that good old search bar. That's my main place. Twitch is also KackisHD on Twitch. But if you like spicy memes, Titans, and even if you don't like pineapple pizza, I can see that one. I'll allow it. Then definitely my Twitter is pretty lit, and that's just at Rick Kackis.
Perfect. Go and give this guy a subscribe on YouTube. You won't be disappointed in his content.
You might be.
No, regular content. Great stuff.
You won't be disappointed in his content. He's a great guy. Go give him a follow and a subscribe. Smash those buttons, as they say. AER0KNIGHT, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at the AER0KNIGHT on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. It's AER0KNIGHT. What about you, buddy?
Awesome. You can find me at Twitter and Twitch at CyborgSasquatch. And then finally, you can find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter. Don't forget to give us a follow so you can find out about those blue microphone giveaways this month. And finally, on the World Wide Web at www.destinyresetpodcast.com. That's your source for all things DRP, including links to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app of choice. We're on all the good ones. Finally, if you want to send us an email, destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com. That is all.
There it is. All the things.
All right.
Kackis, thanks so much for joining us, dude. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you, my friend. Don't choke and die on your pineapple pizza. And
let it go. Let it
I
go.
Can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Some of his salt has went down a bit over the years now that warlocks have a dodge. But other than that,
let's not talk about
dodges.
dodges.
I have a dodge and a healing rift and an empowering rift and amazing abilities.
That's right. We're
and
the best.
The best supers.
We're awesome.
Alrighty, guys. Until next week, have fun playing Destiny 2 and take care, Guardians.